Morning again. All right, before we get into all our children of God, let's go back to last week. I thought the service last week was awesome. And I really do enjoy the idea of going through the tenets of what we believe here and what metaphysical Christian and really InterQuest foundation is, because I think it is very powerful, even at the base level, if you just were able to function with these tenets that we're going to continue to go through. You would be able to be divine on this world. It is that simple. It is the hard part is living it all the time. Does that make sense? Because we do have so much other stuff that gets us, you know. So the tenets are really cool, and I really do like this one a lot. I think it's we could rabbit hole it real good. I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll keep it simple because being able to perform it is more important than being able to act smart about it. Does that make sense? So, because it is world changing, it's life changing, it's spirit changing, it's heart changing, it's all those things if we can use them. So last week Cindy talked about God is love. God is love. God is truth. God does not judge. Today we talk about being children of God. So we have to kind of look back on that last service as, all right, so what is God to define what are children of God? So there was another cool thing that Cindy said about last week, had this, what do they call them, acronyms? Is that what it is? ISITGOG. I stand in the grace of God. So I've been getting my butt kicked at work. So I secretly, strategically placed that in certain areas of my job site. And I did it with spray paint, and I did it, and it'll be fine. No one will know what it is. But I did it as an act of standing forth with that. Like, that's participatory of spiritual. That is me participating with my belief system, right? My belief system is not to tell somebody they're wrong. It's to go right on the curb. I stand in the grace of God. And it helps. It helps. My week was much better. Because my heart was much better. Because I even had the courage to do that. Some small, tiny little thing. So it's very powerful. And I think the simple tenets that we're going to go through are very powerful on changing the world, honestly. So, child of God, if God is love and God is truth and God does not judge, and we are children born of that. So I asked Hazel this morning because I was kind of struggling with how, because to me it was like, oh, this is a 5-minute service, we can move on, right? Everybody believes this. But I asked Hazel, I said, what does it mean to be a child of God? She goes, love. I was proud of myself too. I was like, yes. More grandma probably got her that one, but but it is. So it is love, truth, no judgment. God is our creator. God is our source. So being a child of God, we have to stand forth. If in the title of the service is We Are All Children of God, we have to start here on our very own personal level, because it is a foundation of being able to even see past, beyond, into anybody else. Right? Before we can even think that the world are all brothers and sisters and children of God, we have to believe that in ourselves. We have to believe that in ourselves. Your initial brain reaction is, well, I don't show it all the time. We all have things we bounce in and out of. I probably cuss too much Monday through Friday. I probably need to tone it down, right? But it does not mean I'm not a child of God, because my foundation identity is love, truth, and as little judgment as I can. And we all strive for that. But that is me practicing as a child of God. So if you do not hold that belief about yourself, it is going to be harder to see that about other people if you can't see it to yourself. So I would encourage you to start there. Really own it. I remember, not the day, the second it happened, but I do remember point in my life where, let me go back. In metaphysics, we teach a class, Metaphysics 3, it's about the laws of the universe, right? And one of the laws is the law of identity. And it really is law of identity, like what is your true identity? Not your personas, not your personalities, not what you do for a living, not the guy you turn into when you have to be social and the guy when you're tired and mad, but what's your true identity? And I powerfully remember my life changing in many ways inside when my true identity became child of God at the base level. That is my baseline. No matter what I've done, no matter what has been done to me, I can go back to that, and it is a life changer. It's powerful because I know God is my source. I know God is love, and I know God is truth, and I can always go back to that as a child of God. So start there. Let that be your foundation. Because without it, we can't see beyond ourselves. If we are judging ourselves, God doesn't judge, so you're not acting like a child of God, right? We start here. So then we try to move on to then we can try to capture the idea of we are all children of God, which is a big one for a lot of people because I'm talking the world, not just your neighbors. We are all children of God. Let me read this, chapter 81 in the Aquarian. Jacob's well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, you probably are, but Jesus is going in through Samaria, and they've journeyed a long way, and there's a well there, and he's thirsty, right? So on their way through Samaria, they've journeyed on, they came to Sychar, which was near the plot of ground that Jacob gave to Joseph when he was a youth. And Jacob's well was there, and Jesus sat beside the well in silent thought, and his disciples went to the town to purchase bread. A woman of the town came out to fill her pitcher from the well, and Jesus was athirst. And when he asked the woman for a drink, she said, I am a woman of Samaria, and you a Jew. Do you not know that there is it's a bad word for me. Enmity between us, between Samaritans and Jews. They traffic not. Then why do you ask me favor of drink? And Jesus said, Samaritans and Jews are all children of one God, our Father God, and they are kin. But it is but prejudice born of the carnal mind that breeds enmity and hate. Samaritans and Jews are all children of God, brothers under one God. And I think we have this, and this is now my perspective. Who knows if we share it, but historically, we have this inherent, and I'm talking world, all the people in the world, we obviously have this inherent spiritual connection because every culture has something. It's not singular to a single culture. It is a divine connection to all humanity. And what we have done historically has taken the world around us, our culture, our neighbors, our local judgments, our local rules, our local whatevers, and we have created heaven from below. From our world, we've created God through our minds, through those carnal minds that create enmity and hate. So I'm not saying it's bad. We urge to define it, the indefinable spiritual realm of God. The only tools we have to define that is the world around us. So each divinely connected set of humanity colors their God by their culture. And there's still people, and I believe that there is one God. There are still people that believe multiple gods and that their God's right and the other God's wrong. We have all colored our God based off what is around us and what is available to us. We're all doing the same thing. Yet we have been so violently opposed to each other for thousands of years for all the carnal reasons. The true practitioners of these other faiths, the true divinely appointed people, they believe God is love and God is truth. It's the carnal thoughts that's created this divide between us. And we're all doing the same thing. And we think we're right. And we think they're wrong. We need to look in the mirror ourselves. Because honestly, we are doing the same thing here. We are doing it. We are trying to connect and define and teach and further exploration of this indefinable God. And we are doing it with our perspective. Now we try and we stretch and we urge to raise our perspective up. We always want to raise our perspective up, but we are still doing the same thing. And I hold my hand in the air. God does not judge. I cannot judge someone else for that belief. Yet, historically, we battle for it. We battle for it. And it's wild to me that we can't see ourselves in the others. It's wild in my brain. I always go back to football. You go to you go to a Georgia-Florida game, right? Those boys hate each other. They're hurting each other. They're trying to get after it. It is a violent meetup. The fans throwing beer at each other. It's wild. It's testosterone-laden violence, right? But all of them are football players, and they're doing the same thing. They're just doing it from the perspective of orange and blue and red and black. And if you take that out, they are more brothers than the soccer players. They are more brothers than the baseball players. But at that moment, they're fighting each other. And if you go to the NFL, right, you got guys. You ever heard, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but I hate playing against him, but I love him as a teammate. You get to that point where you have this against somebody else, but they get on your team, and you love them. Because our perspective changes. Now we take that and raise it up. We're all playing football with God. We're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to define this thing that is indefinable to us, that we can find in our hearts, that will allow us to be happy and whole and free from guilt and stress and all of these things that weigh us down. And we judge other people for doing the same thing we're doing. And I'm asking us to stop or try. And I think the world would be a better place if we could do that. Do you guys agree? Like wholeheartedly. Holy cow. I think it's time for us to wake up, look in the mirror, put our hands in the air and say, I'm not right. I don't have to be right. I don't have to be violent. I don't have to fight over this. You guys are doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. We're both going the same. We're both looking at the same star in the sky. It's not a different star. So, that's a religious thing. The other thing I wanted to say, which I think is really cool, and I don't know where I've heard it from. I think my mom said it one time. God doesn't have any grandchildren. So it's another idea. So we start with our personal relationship with God, if we can be a child of God, and then we look at the other ways people look at God and quit judging that and know that we're all doing the same thing. And then we need to look at the aspect of we are all spiritually peers. We are spiritually peers. Age, condition, outfits, does not matter. There's no ranking system. There's no hierarchy. We are all here together doing the same thing again. So let me read this. This is chapter 27. This is one of my favorite verses, scriptures in the Aquarian Gospel. I love it. You'll see why if you know me. All right, so there's a big feast. Jesus is in India. There's a big feast at Bahar, and they've invited everybody in the town to come to this feast. So let me start here. An Ak, a wealthy man of Bahar, made a feast in honor of his guest, and Jesus was the guest, and he invited everyone to come. And many came, among them thieves, extortioners, and courtesans. You guys are supposed to laugh there. And Jesus sat with them and taught. But they who followed him, Jesus' followers, were much aggrieved because he sat with the thieves and courtesans. And they upbraided him. They said, Rabboni, master of the wise, this day will be an evil day for you. He's sitting with the thieves and the courtesans, and the people that are listening to Jesus are still that judgmental. That he sits and teaches with them that this will be an evil day for Jesus. The news will spread that you consort with courtesans and thieves, and the men will shun you as they shun an asp. And Jesus answered them and said, a master never screens himself for sake of reputation or fame, but these are but worthless babbles of the day. They rise and sink like empty bottles on a stream. They are illusions that will pass away. They are the indices to what the thoughtless think. They are the noise that people make, and shallow men judge merit by the noise. God and all master men judge men by what they are, not what they seem to be, not by their reputation and their fame. These courtesans and thieves are children of my Father God. Their souls are just as precious in his sight as yours of the Brahmic priests. And they are working out the same sums in life that you are. You who pride yourself on respectability and moral worth are working out. And some of them have solved much harder sums than you have solved. You men who look at them with scorn. That is spiritual brotherhood. The priests of the Brahmic faith are looking at these thieves and courtesans with judgment. And they cannot be as good. They cannot be good enough for Jesus to teach them. They cannot be as good as themselves, because they're courtesans and thieves. And Jesus says, no. We don't know why that. We don't know why that is. They could very well be further along spiritual journey than you are, my friend. So I love this scripture because it is, we're all in it together, and we are peers. And my judgments of you do not dictate what your spirit actually is. And if we can look at that in a way where it provides us a vehicle to allow the grace of God in our interactions, to allow the respect of looking in somebody's face in their eyes and listening to them as a peer, and not a less than, and not a thief or a courtesan. It allows you to spend time with the thieves if you want to, without judgment from the rest, because we're all doing the same thing. We are all doing the same thing. We're all living life. We're all doing this. The kids are good with this. I like to know grandchildren. There's no grandchildren. I am just as much a child of God as Hazel, my daughter, is, as my mom is. And there's this huge age gap, right? And our human brain says, no, that's not right. Hazel's probably smarter than me, probably spiritually more aware than I am. I hope she is. I hope she teaches me. Same with, my parents held that hope with me too, right? We have to look at them like that, and it really gives us the time and the valuable, and it allows us to listen. It allows us to interact harmoniously. It allows us to speak truthfully. If we can see that and honor the peership and the brotherhood. So being a child of God is number one. How do we move forward with these ideas? If you can't hold the identity of child of God, work on it. And again, what is God? God is love. God is non-judgment. God is source. If you're a child of God and God is your source, please ask God for supply. If you don't ask, you are not participating. You are not acting as a child of God. And whatever your reasoning is, if you don't ask because you are unworthy, God's children aren't unworthy. You're not acting as a child of God. You're acting as a judgment thing. You're judging yourself. So ask. Ask from your heart. Ask for things. I think we are so trained to not ask. Ask God. Not for food on your table if you own that already. Maybe ask Him for wildest dreams. Knock on the door, shall be opened unto you. The persistence to knock is participating as God's child. Knocking is being God's child. Speak truthfully. There's always a way. She talked about it yesterday, or last week. She was direct. There's always a way to speak your truth and not speak it in a hateful way or an angry way. There's always a way. That's harder. I struggle with that sometimes too. Sometimes I get my emotions and get wild and crazy, and say goofy stuff I wish I didn't say. But I always try to go back. Love as much as you can. God is love. Love, 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 love. Go find something you love. Go find someone you love. If you cannot express love freely, please find something you can express love to and do it as much as you can. Just like working out. The more you use it, the bigger it grows. You will get it. You will be able to function in that love. You'll be able to do it. That, I think, is the harder one to define because, well, what is love? Go find something you love and do it. And there'll be something else. And then there'll be something else. And then there'll be something else. Next thing you know, you've lived a month and you're just great, vibing with everybody just in this thing because you've practiced love. God is love. Practice it as a child of God. Practice it on yourself. Practice it on the people around you. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. We're all doing the same thing. Be honest with yourself. At least in the fact of we're all doing the same thing. As you see your brother, it is a direct reflection of the judgments you hold on yourself. Look at yourself. We are trying to define the indefinable, the creation of this world and all this humanity. And we are putting our cultural spin on it too, even at this church. But we are doing it, and if we can see it and own it and walk forward in that, we can be very clear and truthful, and we can stay in love. It's when we throw the mirror away and say right, wrong, bad, good. Love goes away. Truth goes away. Enmity and hate come forward. Give grace. I stand in the grace of God from last week. Give grace. At the very least, let your fellow man function in your world without judgment and hatred. Give grace to them. They pull out in front of you, hope you get where you're going. Right? That's simple grace. Just give it to them. I always think of grace as this. Right? Here's judgment. Grace. I'm going to give you grace to function. I don't need to go down the road with you. You do you. I wouldn't choose it for myself. All good. Give grace. Remember, we're all playing football. And we're all football players at the end of the day. We're all children of God. We're all playing this game, and we're all on the same team in the bigger perspective. We think we're not. We are. Honor your peers. Honor the children. Honor the thieves. Honor the courtesans. Honor them with love. Just take your judgment off of them. That'd be a great way to honor somebody. They didn't do it the way you would choose. It does not mean it's not as powerful for them as something else would be for you. It does not mean that they are not been around this game 100 times just like you have. It does not mean that they might not need your help down the line somewhere. We're all in it. We're all brothers. We're all peers. Listen to the kids. Listen to the old people. The old people got some cool stuff to say. Patrick kind of helped me with this one. He made me go see. He didn't make me, but he very strongly encouraged me to always go see my grandmother. Listen to old people. Listen to the kids. They're no different. We get stuck in the middle of life, right? My age and whatever. And we kind of think we're the only ones here. And it's not. We can honor and we can receive and we can be blessed by all. Don't judge. Don't judge. Don't judge. It's hard. Raise your hand if it's hard not to judge. Everybody's hand goes to the air. Mine too, man. It's so hard. It's so hard not to judge yourself. Keep that diligent effort to not judge, and you can stand and be a child of God. Ask, love, and don't judge. Simple. You guys think you can do it? I know you can. I know you're already trying. I know you're already trying. We're all trying. We're all in the same boat. Guess what? I'm doing the same thing. All right, you guys ready? We'll take it within. Take another breath. Get your feet on the floor. Get comfortable. And envision that light again around your chair, that column of light coming around you. Where we got our spark turned on. And I want to raise a little bit higher in this column of light. Really focus on your spirit growing and your body lightening. We get a little bit higher and a little bit freer. And in this space, I want you to ask for something that you want. Ask God for something that you want. And however it comes to you, a word, a feeling, a picture, and don't be ashamed or judge what it is. Get what you want. And then when you see it, I want you to kind of create a bridge from your heart to that thing and bring it into you. Bring it into your heart. And own that thing. Person, thing, feeling, whatever it is. Take a moment to own it. And then I want you to see the globe. The globe from outer space, a map on the table, whatever represents humanity to you. Envision that. Then I want you to give that thing you received from God to the globe. To that representation of humanity. Somebody else wants it too. In this space, we are connected in brotherhood. And we are grateful for the opportunity to receive from God, our source, and to share with our world. We know it blesses the whole. Being in the cycle, we know we are blessed being in the cycle. God, thank you for the opportunity to come down here and live with everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to explore their spiritual growth together. And thank you for this church and church family and for all of this exploration into harmony. And just feel that bridge from God to you to the globe. Feel the bridge that as a child of God, you stimulate, you create. Just take it in for a minute. And when you're ready, come back down your column of light. Back into your chair. Knowing this simple task has blessed you and has blessed your brothers. So it is. Last week we had ISITGOG. It's kind of long, clunky. I stand in the grace of God, our acronym. This week, WACOG. We are the children of God. Thanks for listening. I hope you had a good time.